Coming up on DITV, Remembering the Fallen, see how ROTC honored those who died in the September 11th attacks.
And later, a new hotel is opening in Iowa City. We'll take you inside the new Hyatt Place.
We caught up with the Iowa football team leading up to their game against UNI.
And one Hawkeyes catch caught Kinnick's attention this past weekend. We'll tell you more coming up in sports.
I've got your update on Hurricane Florence as well as your local forecast coming up.
All that and more coming up on this Wednesday morning edition of DITV.
So don't go anywhere. DITV starts right now. Good morning, and thank you for joining us on this Wednesday morning. I'm Kaylin Cluck.
And I'm Bo Bowman. Yesterday marked the 17th anniversary of the September 11th attacks to honor the first responders who lost their lives in the ROTC. Gathered bright and early in Carver Hawkeye Arena, Jahisha Thomas has the story.
Both Army and Air Force troops rallied together to simulate the 110 flights that were run by the first responders in the tragedy that happened. Cadet Joshua Hoover, senior organizer of the event, is able to explain further the inspiration of the idea.
I ran this event. It was a big cooperation between us and Air Force, and by us I mean the University of Iowa Army ROTC. We came right here this morning to Carver Hawkeye to run 110 flights of stairs to remember all the first responders who died or lost their lives in the September 11th attacks, as the firefighters had to run 110 flights to help save American lives. We did them with their rucksacks, which weighed about approximately 35 pounds, to try to simulate the gear the firefighters carried during their run up these flights of stairs.
It really was an amazing sight to see. And speaking with Captain Justin DeLon, he was able to put into perspective of the detail that this operation meant to the many lives affected that day.
We're just trying to honor those, the innocent civilians that were killed on 9/11, 2001. And also we want to honor some of the people that perished while in the line of duty. And specifically, we were looking at the 343 firefighters and the 72 law enforcement officers that were killed that day when those towers collapsed.
It was a true honor being there, and being an athlete myself, I couldn't help but being inspired and getting involved. Reporting from Carver Hawkeye Arena, this is Jahisha Thomas from DITV.
This year, the Trump administration has been making some major changes to the agriculture industry, specifically for soybeans.
That's right, Kaylin. And Iowa soybean farmers seem to have seen some of the greatest impacts of the policy changes.
DI reporter Julia Shanahan is standing by in the newsroom with more. Can you give us a quick rundown on the effects of these tariffs?
Hi, good morning. So in July, China imposed retaliatory tariffs on about $34 billion worth of U.S. products, and Iowa's soybean industry took about a $600 million hit. So now farmers are having a hard time finding an export market as harvesting season approaches.
So then, what were the farmers' thoughts when they initially heard of Trump's tariffs?
Initially, farmers were hoping that the tariffs wouldn't last this long, but some were able to get their soybeans on the market before the news of the tariffs were announced.
And then what are they hoping will happen now?
The farmers just want tariffs to be lifted. The federal aid package set to be dispersed in the next couple of months will definitely be a short-term solution, but they're concerned about long-term economic damage, but I'll have more news for you as the story develops.
Sounds good. Julia Shanahan in the newsroom, thank you.
The UI is helping bring STEM education to rural schools, and the program is called STEM Excellence in Leadership, and it involves students from 10 school districts across rural Iowa. The goal is to target high-achieving students in 5th to 8th grade. Students spend a total of 96 hours per school year in the course. Mark McDermott is the STEM outreach coordinator for the UI. He says they are hoping this program will help connect with schools across the state. Quote, "We talked about ways that teachers could use general effective teaching approaches to science and in and out of classes. One of the things we want to do at the UI is help facilitate opportunities for students across the state, whether in a rural location or urban location," end quote. The program is in its 4th year, and leaders hope to see it continue.
One downtown apartment complex will soon be expanding. The Penncrest Garden Apartments is a 3-story apartment complex near the old Capitol Mall. Now developers are hoping to expand the area to a 4-building complex. The City Council passed the project this week, approving each building to reach 8 stories. Now the developer wants to push the project to 15-story buildings. The idea is to expand to create more student housing. We will keep you updated as details of the updated project are discussed. And you know, Bo, we had a lot of rain last week, but it's honestly nothing compared to what they had to do, or they're dealing with on the East Coast right now.
No, that's right. Hurricane Florence just absolutely wreaking havoc on the East Coast. Let's toss it over to Samantha Ostwick in the weather studio with more.
Yeah, that's right. Hurricane Florence is expanding in size as strength as it's now a Category 4 hurricane and is moving towards the East Coast. Hurricane warnings were issued yesterday for eastern Carolina, north of Charleston. As catastrophic flooding and extreme winds are very likely, the storm is to predict to make landfall in North and South Carolina either Thursday or Friday. More than 1.5 million people have been ordered to evacuate coastal areas as rain has amounted to 30 inches, and storm surges could take place on dry land and be under at least 10 feet of water. We're hoping everyone stays safe, and we're keeping those in our thoughts. Now onto our local weather. We won't be seeing any rain here in Iowa City. Today will be mostly sunny skies with a temperature of 81 degrees and dropping down to 58 degrees in our evening. Onto our extended forecast, we'll bring more sun as Thursday will be a clear sky with a nice temperature of 80 degrees and a low of 62 in the evening. Friday will be mostly sunny with a few passing clouds at a high temperature of 85 degrees and a low of 65 in the evening, still with those clear skies. And then our weekend will bring the highest temperatures of the week, as Saturday will be a partly cloudy with temperatures reaching the high 80s. But as the evening approaches, some light winds will be around with a low temperature of 61 degrees. Then to round out this beautiful week of weather, we'll also be warm at 85 degrees, mainly sunny skies and very light winds. The evening will also be comfortable at 62 degrees. Well, enjoy the rest of this week, and back to you at the desk.
A new exhibit at the UI Hospitals and Clinics is celebrating the beauty of organ transplant scars. The art is part of a series done by a Virginia high school student back in 2014. The exhibit showcases 15 of the 37 pieces from their collection. The students hoped to show scars as works of art and not something to be hidden away. The Art of the Scar opened yesterday in the first floor lobby of the UIHC. The exhibit will remain open through the rest of the day today.
The state of Iowa gained its 3rd Hyatt Place hotel, and what better city in Iowa than Iowa City? According to their press release, the hotel takes advantage of the Hyatt Place brand's creative design, casual atmosphere, and practical amenities, such as free Wi-Fi and 24-hour food offerings. DITV reporter John Chenoweth was given an exclusive tour of the hotel and has the story.
The Hyatt Place downtown Iowa City opened its doors for the first time last Wednesday, and I had the opportunity to speak with 2 of the hotel's representatives. I asked one of the representatives what Hyatt could bring to Iowa City.
We're excited to bring the Hyatt brand to Iowa City with the dedicated service culture that Hyatt brings, and of course the World of Hyatt loyalty program, as well as our underground heated parking.
I then asked him if the Hyatt had any interesting features.
The unique feature we have here at the Hyatt Place Iowa City downtown is our standalone bar that is unique to our property. The great thing is it's available to not only our guests, but also anybody in the neighborhood or those that might be wanting to try something different. To do have food available 24 hours a day.
They also talked about their favorite part of the new hotel.
My favorite part of our hotel is our dedicated team that we have that is dedicated to our guests and just making those memorable moments with them each and every day.
My favorite thing about the Hyatt Place Iowa City downtown is the location, right off the Penn Mall, but quiet for a great night's sleep, family reunions, and football game weekends.
Finally, I asked Angie about the different room types one could expect when staying at the Hyatt Hotel.
We have many different room types, standard 2 queen beds, standard king rooms. The other types are, we have a specialty room that is a corner room that has views of downtown Iowa City with the floor-to-ceiling windows. We have rooms that have sofa sleepers for the families that come in, And then we have our high floor rooms, which are located on 11th and 12th floor with, again, spectacular views of downtown Iowa City.
I'm John Chenoweth reporting live at the Hyatt Place for DITV News.
You know, Bo, it was so considerate of the Hawkeyes to win the Cy-Hawk Bowl for all 4 years we've been in school.
Yeah, really gave me one step up on my friends from Iowa State for sure. But it's not the only in-state team that the Hawks will be playing this year. They've got UNI this week, so let's toss it over to Dylan and Nicole in the sports studio with more.
Well, thanks, guys. I'm so excited to be back on Melrose Street this weekend with the Hawkeye positivity in the community all as well.
Yeah, I can't wait to see the Hawks swarm Kinnick to face the Panthers this weekend.
Well, the Iowa football team is preparing to take on their third and final non-conference opponent. They have to be extra careful to not look over this Northern Iowa team.
They've been proven to be in trouble in the past. In the unforgettable 2009 season when the Hawks won the Orange Bowl, they almost lost to UNI when they had to block not one, but 2 field goals in a row at the end of the game to escape with a victory.
Yep, and all of the coaches are making sure they don't find themselves in that situation again. So hopefully for them, it won't be a repeat of
the last 3 times we played them, it's been an extremely close game. So really just trying to, know that they're a good program and that they're coached well. They play extremely hard, which I think Coach Ferentz has done a great job at, making known to us. So
they pulled up the clips where we had to block 2 field goals in order to win. So, obviously they're going to come out and compete, and we're expected that.
We don't want to overlook anybody. We just take it 1 week at a time, 1 day at a time, just try and get better and prepare the best we can for each opponent.
We know we're going to get their best shot, and we're preparing just like we do every other game. Just 3 good days of practice during the week, kind of clean some stuff up on Friday, and got to be ready to go Saturday night.
So hopefully for them, it won't be a repeat of 2009, but UNI always comes fired up for this game.
Well, as an FCS team, this is basically their bowl, so anything goes.
There's one Hawkeye receiver who made a big impact against Iowa State last weekend. DITV reporter Taylor Van Fleet has more.
The first big play of his collegiate career couldn't have come at a better time. It was with 4:58 left in the 4th quarter in a tight game against Iowa State when Nate Stanley connected with Brandon Smith on a 30-yard reception to get the Hawkeyes down to the Cyclones' 2-yard line.
that route that he ran in the 4th quarter, really showed how special of a talent he is and how good he can be.
That looked like a legitimate, Division I college play where a guy really, took what he has and made it work for him.
It was a play that electrified Kinnick Stadium. But the young receiver was too locked in to notice.
I really didn't hear the crowd too much. I know they were real loud, but I really didn't even hear the crowd. I just lined back up so Makai could run it.
It was that big play by Brandon Smith that set up the much-needed touchdown at the end of the game, something we could be seeing more of in his 2nd season as a Hawkeye.
I feel like the 2nd year is better than the 1st year because, I'm getting more experience, I'm getting more reps. It's just like the more I'm out there, the more comfortable I get.
The Hawks are hoping that Smith, along with the rest of this young receiving corps, can make a big impact as the season continues. Reporting from the Iowa practice facility, this has been Taylor Van Fleet for DITV Sports.
Well, that's all we have for you on DITV Sports. Guys at the desk, back to you.
And that's all we have for you on this Wednesday morning edition of DITV.
For DITV, I'm Kaylin Cluck.
And I'm Bo Bowman. Come back tomorrow, same time, same place.